What's going on, everybody? This is Under the Arch Sports. I'm Eric Hobbs, and we're going to do a little Mizzou football summer overview for you guys. I'm going to break this down into a number of videos, just kind of position groups together. Uh, this video will be quarterback and offensive line. Before we get into that, you guys who subscribe to our YouTube channel and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. So, we're starting with the big ones, right? Quarterback, offensive line. For Missouri, these guys will decide the fate of Eli Drinkwitz as far as if he remains the head coach beyond Thanksgiving of this year. If they improve, well, I think we'll see Drinkwitz around. But if they perform as they did a year ago, I think we are months away from a coaching search. So no pressure. Quarterback first. Brady Cook, the returning starter. Well, come to find out right after the season ended, torn labrum, played with it almost all season, got injured in the Kansas State game, second game of the year. And, your quarterback playing with a torn labrum, you got to think that impacted a lot of his throws. There's a million ways to speculate that. I think with Cook, there's a couple things to consider. One, he is ahead of schedule, and he is 100%. So he'll be good to go for fall camp. So at this point, that injury should just be a thing of the past. And really, it should mean that he's got a healthy shoulder as opposed to last year. Sam Horn, more injuries. Forearm strain playing baseball. Keep in mind, different throwing motion, football versus baseball. Not a huge concern specific to football. So he's good to go. Now, both of these guys missed spring ball, meaning Jake Garcia, the transfer from the U. He got just about all the reps, right? Sam Horn got a little bit of reps, I guess, but Jake Garcia was the guy with the first team offense for majority of everything. And what that did is it got him caught up a lot faster than everybody was expecting originally before we knew about these injuries. So quarterback is a true 3-horse race. And, if you've watched us, you've heard me say that if Brady Cook is the starter in 2023, I think Missouri will have a coaching change. Knowing that Brady Cook played hurt, it changes things a little, but and maybe I'm not as aggressive with that statement, but I'm not ready to back off of it either. So I think Missouri's best chance is if Horn or Garcia is the starter. And we'll see what happens. With Cook, his big issue was on the home run ball. He was overthrowing guys. Again, with a torn labrum, you would expect maybe underthrows, but maybe it was because he couldn't get the touch on it. And so the arc wasn't there. There's a laser beam and it was overthrown. There's so many different ways you can dissect things. There's no way to know until we see him try to throw these home run balls. And that's what Missouri's offense has to do, is they've got to have a quarterback who can stretch the field, especially given the receivers that Missouri has. We'll talk about that in another video. They got to be able to stretch the field, make the defense defend the entire field more than 10 yards back, right? To do that, the offensive line has to perform. Now, to be fair, they were decent in pass protection a year ago. In such a make or break year, they have to be better than decent. They've got to be pretty good, I think, at least. They were not decent at run blocking. They were trash. They were horrible run blocking. That is where such a huge amount of improvement has to happen. New offensive line coach in, and there has to be change. And when I say change, any change is pretty much going to be better because it's hard to be worse than they were run blocking a year ago. So, we'll see what happens with that. As far as the personnel, going left to right, left tackle, that's really the one spot where you feel like, okay, yep, no drama here. Javon Foster, returning starter, there's nothing there. Javon Foster, if healthy, is your left tackle. Left guard, that one is a little more interesting. Xavier Delgado got a majority of the reps there, but no one on this offensive line, especially the interior, trying to establish themselves as irreplaceable. So you're looking at, I think, EJ Ndoma Ogar potentially at left guard. Yeah, he played at right guard some a year ago before getting hurt. And you may think, well, why not play him at right guard? We'll get to that. So I think you're looking at him as a leading contender to take Delgado's spot at left guard. The biggest impact transfer potentially, Cameron Johnson, first team all conference out of Houston, the AAC, the American. And yeah, he's played guard. He's never played center, but yeah, as David or anybody with offensive line experience can say, a good offensive lineman can play anywhere. Yeah, just given the reps and the experience and so forth. Yeah, I'd look for him to be the center. And that having a former all conference guy replacing Connor Tollison, that might make half the difference right there. Because remember, Connor Tollison, at the beginning and at the end of the season, the snaps were all over the place, timing thrown off regularly on plays. In the middle of the season, the snaps got better, but then, that accounts for what, half the season? The other half, the snaps were craziness. And you're talking about a redshirt freshman trying to play center in the SEC with a rumored actual playing weight of 285. That's not going to cut it. That's not good enough. That's not enough muscle. That's not enough just sheer weight. Too easy to get pushed around by some 6'5", 320 defensive tackle, right? So, yeah, having Cameron Johnson there, potentially huge in and of itself. At right guard, I mentioned Ndoma Ogar had played there some a year ago before getting hurt. Well, you're looking potentially at Armand Membo playing there. Yeah. He played second half of the season a lot of right tackle as a true freshman. So I think you often see guys make their biggest jump from the first to second year in college ball. If Membo can make a jump like that, I think you look for him to be a plus on the offensive line. So I feel comfortable with him. I really do. That's your right guard, I think. And the reason he's moving from right tackle to right guard is the other offensive line transfer, that being Marcellus Johnson, no relation to Cameron, formerly of Eastern Michigan. He is most likely going to be your right tackle. That's where he's been getting his reps. So I think that is what you're looking at as kind of your leading contenders to start. Again, from left to right, Javon Foster, EJ Ndoma Ogar, Cameron Johnson, Armand Membo, and Marcellus Johnson. Compared to a year ago with Connor Tollison and Mitchell Walters and Zeke Powell and everybody else, it's not that bad. There's reason to hope. Offensive line play is more than just 5 guys, though. Someone like say Delgado loses his starting spot. He's got to be ready to go, and he's got to continue to improve because these guys rotate in and out. Injuries are going to happen. Delgado needs to be ready. You hope some of the younger guys in the program are developing. Someone like a Valen Erickson, for example, a redshirt freshman. A lot of people have talked highly about him. You'd like to see someone like him on the 2 deep. And the reason for that is, one, you need all the talent you can get. But secondly, Missouri's offensive line has been bad for a number of years now. If the young incoming talent is not going to overtake these guys, that's a sign that either talent evaluation in high school or just developing guys is not working. So getting these young guys to overtake kind of the scrubs who've been in the program and not do anything for a number of years, that's a sign that at least there's better players kind of waiting in the wings, maybe growing, developing, and so forth. Now, I don't think it's fair to expect that for Logan Reichert. He is the incoming true freshman from Kansas City, top 100 guy, just massive, 6'7", 365, I believe is what his rivals profile had him at. He was at the NFL draft, you may recall, and he dwarfed linemen who had just been drafted by NFL teams. He's huge. But yeah, we'll see how much of that, as he gets into real college football shape, how much weight does he lose? How strong is he really? We'll find out. Either way, it's not fair to expect a true freshman to be an impact guy. I know we saw it with Armand Membo uh, a year ago, especially the second half of the season. But that's the exception, not the rule. Either that or just Missouri is finding some gems, which, let's face it, they're probably good, but I digress. Yeah, I think you'd love to see Logan Reichert in the second half of the season work his way onto the two deep, maybe getting some spot reps. I don't think it's fair to expect him to be a major contributor this season. Going forward, though, we'll see. Anyway, quarterback, offensive line, guys. There's a reason this is the first group of guys that we're talking about. These guys' performance will determine the trajectory of the program. If 2024 is starting from scratch with a new coach, or if this is a program that's all right, finally off the schneid of going 500 in regular season. Maybe this is a team that gets 7-5 in a bowl win and finish 8-5, 8-5 in the SEC. You're knocking on the door of being top 25. Let's be honest. And that's progress. That's something Drinkwitz can sell to recruits, transfers. So we'll see. That's all I've got for this video, guys. Keep it tuned here to Under the Arch Sports. We're going to have more of our summer overview for Mizzou football. David will have some. I'll have some. We're going to hash that out as we go, I guess. St. Louis City, still atop the West, shocking the world of soccer. And we're going to try and talk about the Cardinals. It's just so depressing. Anyway, until then, keep it tuned here. Under the Arch Sports. Thank you for watching.